welcome. We're diving into Christmas traditions around the world. You guys shared you were curious about this, and wow, are we ever going to uncover some interesting stuff? Some of it is super heartwarming, and some, let's just say it's definitely unique.
It really shows just how diverse celebrations can be, even for a holiday celebrated by so many.
Exactly. And to kick things off, let's head over to Japan. Now, Christmas isn't a huge religious holiday over there, but there's one tradition that might surprise you.
Oh yeah, it's definitely not your typical Christmas dinner.
Think millions of Japanese families pre-ordering, wait for it, buckets of fried chicken for Christmas. Can you imagine that?
It's kind of a funny story, actually. Back in the 1970s, KFC had this marketing campaign, Kentucky for Christmas, and somehow it just stuck.
So like a marketing campaign turned into a cultural phenomenon. Wow. That's wild.
It really is. It goes to show how much influence branding can have and how traditions can pop up in the most unexpected places.
From fried chicken to, well, candy coal. Let's swing over to Italy now, where things get a little bit different.
Italy. Forget Santa Claus. They've got 𝗣𝗢𝗓𝗏.
𝗣𝗢𝗓𝗏.
Yeah, she's a gift-giving witch who visits children on Epiphany, which is on January 6th.
A witch? Okay, that's definitely not your typical holiday figure. So how does this 𝗣𝗢𝗓𝗏 figure out who's been naughty and nice?
Well, the good kids get treats and gifts, of course. But the naughty ones, they get candy coal.
Candy coal. That's an interesting approach to punishment.
I know, right? Makes you think about different cultures and how they approach the whole naughty or nice thing.
Like, maybe we could all learn a thing or two from the Italians and their sweeter approach. All right, buckle up because our next stop is Venezuela, where things get really interesting. Think Christmas Eve Mass, but with a twist.
All right, picture this. You're heading to church on Christmas Eve, but instead of walking or driving, everyone's on roller skates.
Wait, seriously? Roller skating to Christmas Eve Mass? That's incredible.
It's quite the sight to see. They even closed down the streets for safety, so it's like a big community event.
I can only imagine the outfits, the energy, maybe even some Christmas lights on those skates. Venezuela is sounding more and more like the place to be for a truly unique Christmas Eve.
It definitely sounds lively.
And speaking of lively, let's travel to a place known for its Christmas markets. Germany.
Ah, the German Christmas markets. They really do capture the essence of the holidays.
I can practically smell the gingerbread and glühwein from here.
Exactly. It's more than just shopping. It's a whole experience. You've got the lights, the sounds of carols, the smell of all that delicious food.
It really does sound like a sensory overload in the best way possible.
Exactly. It's that magical holiday atmosphere that everyone loves.
And it's interesting how some traditions, like Christmas markets, become almost universal, drawing people from all over.
It speaks to that human desire for connection and celebration that transcends cultural boundaries.
Absolutely. From bustling markets to quiet family gatherings, the core of the holiday seems to connect us all. Speaking of unique gatherings, for our next stop, let's travel to the Netherlands, where they have a character who's not exactly Santa, but just as interesting.
You're talking about Sinterklaas, right? He's actually inspired by the historical St. Nicholas.
Okay, so how is this Sinterklaas different from Santa? Does he have a sleigh and reindeer?
Well, not quite. He arrives by steamboat all the way from Spain with his helpers called Zwarte Pieten.
Arriving by steamboat, now that's an entrance. It makes you wonder how different regions adapt these holiday figures.
It really does. Like the steamboat thing, it's probably connected to the Netherlands seafaring history, you know?
Oh, that makes sense. Okay, from a seafaring arrival to something a little more, let's say, intense. Let's go to Austria, where things take a bit of a darker turn.
Austria, ah yes. Home to beautiful music, stunning mountains, and Krampus.
Krampus. Okay, I've heard of Krampus. So while St. Nicholas is rewarding the good kids in Austria, Krampus is the one dealing with the naughty ones.
That's right.
So is this like the candy coal thing in Italy? Or is it a bit more hands-on?
Let's just say Krampus is a bit more intimidating than a lump of coal. He's this horned beast, you know, with chains and bells, and he's said to chase naughty children through the street.
Oh, wow. I bet that's effective. It's interesting how these traditions reflect different cultures' ideas about discipline.
For sure. It's like a glimpse into their values and beliefs. But all right, let's shift gears for a second, head over to the United States. We all know the classic American Christmas, but there's a tradition in New Mexico that a lot of people don't know about.
Are you talking about luminarias? I've seen pictures. They're really beautiful.
They are. Luminarias are these little paper lanterns they place everywhere. Walkways, rooftops, windowsills, you name it.
I've heard they're supposed to represent something special.
They are. They symbolize hope and hospitality, welcoming the Christmas spirit. And they're also meant to light the way for the Holy Family.
It's amazing how even in a country as big as the U.S., you find these unique regional traditions.
Exactly. And speaking of diverse traditions, get ready, because our next stop is a country with a Christmas season that lasts for months. The Philippines.
Months. Okay, I'm all ears. How long are we talking here?
Think September to January. That's how long their Christmas season is.
Wow. That's some serious dedication to holiday cheer. What makes it so long?
Well, for Filipinos, Christmas is all about family, feasting, and these special church services called simbang gabi.
Simbang gabi. What are those like?
They're a series of 9 dawn masses leading up to Christmas Eve. People actually wake up before sunrise to attend them, and then they enjoy traditional Filipino breakfast treats together afterward.
That's a really beautiful blend of faith, community, and food. It's so interesting how cultures emphasize different things during Christmas.
It is. Some focus more on religious aspects, others on family gatherings, some on gift giving.
And sometimes it's a mix of everything. Okay, from the Philippines and their epic Christmas season, let's head north to a land with, wait for it, 13 Santas, Iceland.
13 Santa. Oh, you mean the Yule lads?
The Yule lads. Fill me in, how does Iceland end up with 13 Santas?
So instead of one Santa Claus, they have 13 Yule lads. They're these mischievous little trolls who visit children during the 13 days leading up to Christmas.
So they're like mini Santas, but trolls.
Kinda. Each one has a unique name and personality, and they play pranks and leave small gifts in children's shoes.
So a little bit naughty, a little bit nice.
Exactly. They add a fun, mischievous element to the holidays, and they're also connected to Icelandic folklore.
It's amazing how traditions like that are so intertwined with the culture's history and stories.
It really is. It's like they're keeping those stories alive through these celebrations.
It makes you realize these traditions aren't just about fun and festivities. It's like they're these cultural threads connecting generations.
Yeah.
It's deeper than that, isn't it? They're passing down these stories and beliefs that make each culture unique.
Yeah. It shows that even today, with everyone so connected, these old customs still have power. Like they shape our experiences and remind us about what connects us all.
This deep dive has really shown me just how many different ways people celebrate Christmas around the world.
It's amazing, right? Each culture has its own unique take on the holiday.
Like who had thought about fried chicken in Japan? Or a gift-giving rich?
And let's not forget those roller skating churchgoers in Venezuela.
Seriously. And speaking of memorable traditions, those Icelandic Yule lads, they really stuck with me. They're definitely one of a kind.
They are pretty mischievous, aren't they? It makes you think about how these figures change over time, reflecting how cultures change, too.
Yeah, from trolls to witches to, well, even Krampus. It's clear there's no one right way to celebrate Christmas.
Exactly. And that's what makes it so interesting. It's about recognizing and appreciating those differences.
Like we've taken a trip around the world looking into all these different homes and seeing how everyone celebrates in their own way.
And that's kind of what the holidays are about, right?
Yeah.
Opening ourselves up to new things, connecting with people, and just enjoying that shared feeling of celebration.
So as you're getting ready for your own Christmas celebrations, maybe this deep dive has given you some ideas.
Maybe you'll try a new tradition or just take a moment to think about all the different ways people make this holiday special.
Whether it's fried chicken in Japan, luminaries in New Mexico, or maybe even leaving a treat for a Yule lad, remember that what really matters is connecting with people, sharing joy, and keeping those traditions alive.
Well said. Happy holidays to everyone listening, wherever you are in the world.
Thanks for coming along with us on this global Christmas adventure. We'll see you next time.
Keep those festive spirits bright.